Hello friends, my name is Raza Masood. Today we'll discuss about a topic control scope. Friend, this is a very important topic in terms of project management and I would love to talk about this topic in detail. And why? Because this is a very important topic and any person, any student who is studying project management in university or going to give an exam of PMP, and this is very important topic to understand the control scope. And also if you are a professional person and already implementing projects as a project manager or project coordinator, so this is very important to understand the concept of control scope. So friend, today we will discuss this topic in detail as per the definition of PMBOK, project management body of knowledge, or PMI, and we will see that what is control scope. um, Throughout the video, throughout the tutorial, I will try my level best to explain the topic in a very easy to understand manner, in a very simple terminologies, so that everyone can understand the term control scope in a very easy to understand manner. Friend, the purpose of making this video is that I just want to make a very simple video so that especially the students who are very new in project management field and studying project management in colleges or universities or planning to give an exam of PMP, so this video can be very helpful for you to understand the topic, to understand the term of controller scope. Why? Because friend, I'm sure, I'm 100% sure that if you are planning to give an exam of PMP, you will definitely see around 15 to 20 questions, around 15 to 20 questions which are directly related to scope. So you can understand the concept, you can understand the importance of a scope and controller scope topic with respect to the exam point of view. And also if you are a project manager and implementing the software projects or any other project, so this is very important to understand the topic, the term controller scope. So friend, let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start control scope. Friend, whoever is right now watching my video, I would like to ask a question from you. What is you understand from the term scope? What do you understand from a term scope? Friend, scope means the boundary of requirement. Boundary of requirement means, for example, if you are implementing e-commerce solution and your customer is saying that he needs 5 modules in the e-commerce solution, you document these 5 modules and get it signed off from the customer. So now this is your scope. Scope means this is the boundary of requirement, and if anything is outside the boundary of requirement, this is out of a scope for you. Are you getting my point? If anything lies is anything comes under the under these 5 modules under the scope, so this is the thing which you have to deliver. If anything is comes outside the scope, outside the boundary, so it is for out of a scope for you, and you can easily upfront you can say customer that this is not comes under scope for you, and you can you can you need a change request for this requirement. So this is called the concept of a scope in terms of project management. Now coming towards our main topic, control scope. Controlling means that friends, control something, managing something. Managing means that you know that this is your boundary of requirement, but this is your boundary of customer requirement. Now you are controlling something. Controlling means, for example, 5 modules were you have to develop for a customer. If anything, if any customer is saying that he needs one more module, so now the control scope comes under the comes here, and you can say to customer that okay, as per the scope we have to deliver 5 modules, but now this 6 module is does not comes under the scope and we need a change request. Controlling means, control scope means you are managing the scope. You are managing the scope that anything which comes under the scope, you have to deliver. But if anything which does not comes under the scope of a project, so you can avoid, you can ask, you can inform to customer that this is not pertains to our scope of work and you need a change request. Controlling means you are managing the scope. The control scope is a project management activity that monitors the status of the project. It also determines if the deliverables have met the required documents, as well as managing the changes made on the project scope baseline. The control scope involves monitoring of the status of the project as well as the product scope and managing changes. The benefit of this process is that it maintains the scope baseline during the entire project lifecycle. Friend, this was just a definition. Let me tell you that control scope means that basically on basis of the scope document, which is signed between the customer and the vendor, on based on that scope document, you can manage the scope. That means if anything comes under the scope, the signed scope of work, you have to deliver it to the customer. And if anything does not comes under the scope of work, you can, and customer saying that he needs it, so you can clearly says to customer that okay, if you need it, it will be a change request. Why it's a change request? Because it does not comes under mention in the scope document, so that it is a change request. And we can inform you through our change management process the cost, the schedule, the time required for that change at some later stage. But now currently it's a change request and we cannot incorporate at this stage. Why? Because on based on the signed scope of work, it does not comes under the scope. Here it is very very important, friend, that to control the scope of work, to control the scope, you need signed documents, signed scope of work, requirement documents. So all these documents are very important, especially scope of work. If you have the signed scope of work in your hand and you know that what is defined in the scope of work, so based on the scope of work you can take stand and you can ask in front of a customer that you can manage the scope of work if you have a signed scope of work in your hand. Why? Because if anything mentioned in the scope of work, you can clearly says that okay, we have to deliver it. But if anything is not mentioned in the scope of work, you can upfront says to customer that it is a change request and we need additional cost, time, schedule to implement that change, and it will be we need a sign of a CR against this change. So friend, this remember one thing: to control the scope, you must have a signed scope of work in your hand to manage the scope. Otherwise, remember one thing, you will it cannot be managed. But scope cannot be managed. Friend, control scope is a process of basically project management. There are few inputs, tools and techniques, and the outputs. Inputs are project management plan, requirement documentation, requirement traceability metrics, work performance data, and organizational process assets. These are the inputs. And tools and techniques are variance analysis. Variance analysis, you will see that how much variance are there as per the scope, as per the project plan. And based on the variance analysis, we have outputs which are work performance information, change request, project management plan updates, project document update, organizational process assets. Friend, let me try to explain you in a simple manner. Friend, basically whenever we talk about control scope, it's a process of project management. There are inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. What does that mean? Basically, uh, we have scope documents, project management plan, requirement traceability matrix. There are a few documents we have. So by using these documents, we analyze it. Analyze the variance analysis. What does it mean? For example, if you have a scope document and scope document have 5 modules, and you notice that one more module comes now from the customer, so now variance analysis shows that one additional module is required. So it will be a one additional module will be a change request, and we will consider this as a change request. If customer accept the additional time and cost, so project management plan will be update, scope document will be update, the change request will be added, and the baseline will be updated. So friend, just remember one thing, that control scope is a project management process which needs input as scope documents, project management plan, and by using the tools and technique of various analysis, the output will be the change request, project management plan update, work document update, and the organizational process asset update. So friend, I hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and also please subscribe to my channel. And thanks a lot for your time, and that's all from my side. Thank you.